Good morning. Guess who's not here? Penny. You know why? You know this kind of influenza thing, coughing, you know about that? Yeah. Well, Penny's dad had it. A lot of people have it, and you know what? It lasts and lasts and lasts. Do you have it in school? People have, it starts with a cough, it just doesn't quit, yeah? Yeah, yeah. Well, it's nasty. It's nasty. So I told Penny she can't talk without coughing. And I said that would not be appreciated. These children have work to do. They have to go to school and they can't get this bug that you've got. So do you want to say hi to Penny? 1, 2, 3? And then she knows you're thinking about her? Maybe another time? Okay. Well, we can do it another time. But what I want to do this morning is to talk to you about butterflies. What's this? What kind? It is a butterfly. What kind? Monarch. Very good. Very good. You know what the name monarch means? What?
It means a butterfly that has feathers on its wings.
Well, monarch means king. Yeah, so this is like the king of the butterflies. Now, this is much bigger than the real monarch, right? Yeah, it is. So before we talk about monarchs, this is just one kind of butterfly. How many kinds of butterflies do you think God made? How many?
1,000.
You know what? You're very close. Well, you're not that close.
2,000.
Well, no. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is going to absolutely amaze you. In the United States alone, there are 750 kinds of butterflies. 750. And in the world, because we're thinking about the world today, 17,500 different kinds of butterflies. Can you believe that? You can't. No, it's hard to believe. Now, what I want to ask you is this. Have any of you ever wanted to be God? Have you ever thought that it would be fun to be God? You have? Yeah, you thought it would be fun? Why do you think it would be fun? Why do you think it would be fun, Caitlin?
Because you could make up a bunch of things.
You can create, right? But you know what? Pretend you're God for one day, and all you're in charge of is making butterflies, okay? Well, if you made a monarch, and there's more than one monarch in the world, if you made one monarch, do you know how many eyes you'd have to make for this butterfly? Thousands. They have thousands of eyes, compound eyes. They do. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? You'd have to put on scales. You look at how these dots, these dots are just like those dots. We are going to learn in just a minute from Tiger all the work that God puts into making one single butterfly. I used to think that in order for me to really understand how small I was in comparison to everything else, that I needed to look at the sky. Have you ever done that? You look way, 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 way up in the sky and you feel so tiny. But you know what? Jesus said, you don't have to look far, far, far away. You can look right here at a butterfly. Now, what Jesus says to his disciples when he's talking to them, he says, think about the sparrow. Well, what's a sparrow? Is a sparrow a butterfly? No. What is it? It's a bird. Okay. But Jesus could have said, think about the monarch, because what he was getting at was the same thing. When you understand all that God puts into creating something so tiny as a butterfly. How long does a butterfly live anyway? 2 to 6 weeks. And then he's making more butterflies. That's a lot of work. And so the question Jesus asked was, think about sparrows. Now, if I ask you, think about monarchs. If God puts all that work into making one insect, think of what God does for you every day in keeping you alive. It's an amazing, amazing thing, isn't it? So that's why Jesus said, consider the lilies, consider the sparrows, consider the butterflies. So I want to just say that the butterflies to me teach me two lessons. One thing is no matter how little you are, you can do great things. Did you know that one monarch butterfly, how far do you think a butterfly can fly? Biddeford?
Bedford to New York.
Farther than New York.
Hawaii.
A butterfly, one butterfly, can fly all the way to Mexico.
That was my second guess.
That's amazing. So if God made little butterflies like this do such a great thing as fly all the way to Mexico, think of what God made you able to do. Did you ever think of that? Maybe not. Well, start. Think about what God made you to do. And the other thing that I love about caterpillars, and we're going to be learning about that in just a minute when we talk to the author of the book, Tiger, is that caterpillars remind me of the resurrection, of eternal life, of life after death. Because this is the way a caterpillar looks, then it turns into a chrysalis. We'll hear about that more later. And then, whoa, look at that. And that's what happens to us. We crawl along in life, and then we die. People think, oh, isn't that sad? Gone forever. And then, whoosh, turn into a butterfly. So, these are wonderful gifts. They're wonderful reminders that God gives us through butterflies. And you're now welcome to go back to your pew because you're going to see a very special presentation on one of God's creatures named Tiger.
August 30th, 2012 was a very special day. A monarch butterfly with a broken wing was found by a man named Tony. This is a story about their friendship.
Tony named his new friend Tiger because he was orange and black and very brave.
Tiger's new home was a cardboard box where he was kept safe. It had grass, flowers, twigs, water, and even windows. Tiger was not impressed, and he climbed out. He wanted to be free and fly again.
Tiger ate strawberry jam for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. Sometimes he ate out of Tony's hand where he would stand, right in the jam. Did you know that butterflies taste with their feet? I'm glad we don't.
Tiger liked perching on Tony's shoulder. Occasionally, he would try to fly, but then he'd flutter to the ground. He was very determined and refused to accept defeats.
Most butterflies only live 2 to 4 weeks, but the ones that are born at the end of the summer live several months. They fly all the way to Mexico for the winter.
Tiger struggled with his broken wing. Tony tried to make a splint, but it didn't work very well, so he carefully cut off the broken wing. Tiger seemed much happier without it.
Rosa, the family dog, was curious and seemed to understand that Tiger needed help and become part of the family.
Tony took Tiger to the Wells Reserve Crafts Festival, where lots of children enjoyed holding Tiger and learning all about butterflies.
Tiger was a male because only males have a black dot on each hind wing. Butterflies have 4 wings, 6 very slender legs, and 2 antennae.
Tiger was friendly and curious and always hungry. Imagine a grown-up falling in love with an insect. Tiger was special.
Tiger had 3 square meals every day. After breakfast, Tony and Tiger played together. Tony told Tiger how proud he was to be his friend.
Tiger loved climbing up on Tony's shirt. He had 2 tiny hooks on each foot so he could get a grip. It was important to let Tiger crawl into his hand instead of Tony picking him up.
Tiger exercised on the living room rug. One morning, he disappeared under the sofa, but was soon found on the window screen enjoying the view of Stage Harbor.
Tony and his friends took lots of pictures of Tiger. His love affair turned into a book, which Tony wrote and got published. It's called Tiger, the monarch butterfly who couldn't fly.
Tiger was perfection, cast as the main character in the book. He was much better behaved than Slim Pickens, the seagull in Tony's first book, who ate everyone's lunch.
Tiger died at night in his house with lots of flowers. He lived a good life for 18 days. Now Tiger rests peacefully in a small box in Tony's sock drawer. Here he is safe and will always be loved.
The end.